You know what's crazy? People are always in my fucking business, worried about what I'm doing, what Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I don't got. Just know, I'm gonna stay in my lane, I ain't gonna fuck with nobody, and I don't want nobody fucking with me. If I go on vacation, my fault. When I go on vacation for 30 days, I take 30 watches with me. But you know what? What's crazy is this. If we add 10 more days, I take 10 more watches. But then I say, fuck it. If I want to bring out the one and only, then I bring out the watch that costs 18 million. Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do for you motherfucking haters today? I'm gonna go fuck off $50,000 because I ain't got shit else to do. Money made all motherfucking day.
That's been Floyd's whole identity for the last 20 years.
Some might make 10 or 20 million, but I am doing exhibitions and making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I am doing exhibitions and getting 100 million?
But I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and get
the money, the flash, the I made $1 billion and I want everyone to know it energy. That has been his whole brand. Floyd Money Mayweather. That is literally his nickname. The man put it on a license plate. He built an empire on that image. And now the IRS is chasing him for $7.3 million in unpaid taxes. His properties are going into foreclosure. His checks are bouncing at jewelry stores, and he just filed a $340 million lawsuit claiming someone stole his money. All of this from a man who reportedly earned $1.2 billion over his career. Fighters fighting, they make $3 million.
This Bugatti right here costs 1.6 million. You ain't seen these,
I haven't seen these?
No.
What? Floyd, this is 7 cars, man. Silver, platinum, Miami, black LA, white Vegas.
Yeah, in New York, I got my driver.
Let's actually talk about the numbers first, because I think a lot of people do not fully understand just how much money Floyd Mayweather was supposed to have. Over a 21-year professional boxing career, this man earned an estimated $1.2 billion. That is not a typo, $1.2 billion from boxing alone. His fight against Manny Pacquiao in 2015 generated over $410 million in pay-per-view revenue. And Floyd personally pocketed around $250 million from that single night. One night, $250 million. His fight against Conor McGregor in 2017 reportedly brought in another $300 million for Floyd. Forbes listed him as the highest-paid athlete in the world multiple years in a row from 2012 to 2014, beating out soccer players, basketball players, everyone. He was not just rich, he was historically, embarrassingly, mind-blowingly wealthy. And somehow here in 2026, we are genuinely having a conversation about whether Floyd Mayweather is broke. That should not be possible. And yet...
yeah, because I wish Floyd didn't have to do this. He made enough money, he shouldn't have to do this. And I don't, maybe he just wants to come back. Maybe there's an itch that he needs to scratch. Maybe the competitive juices are flowing again. But when you talk about Ocho, let's just say for the sake of argument, these are exhibitions. Yeah. Floyd hadn't fought 3 fights in 1 year since 2005. That's over 2 decades ago. It doesn't, even if it doesn't look good, because sometimes the mention of like Floyd is broke. I don't know if Floyd is broke. Floyd broke compared to other people.
It's not the same.
Here is the thing about Floyd's lifestyle. He did not just live large. He lived in a category that most billionaires do not even touch. The entourage alone reportedly cost him millions every year. Dozens of people on payroll, security hangers on yes men. He has been known to carry bags of cash to casinos and gamble millions in a single sitting. He owned multiple private jets at the same time. He had properties in Las Vegas, Beverly Hills, Miami, and New York. He wore watches that cost more than houses. One report estimated that Floyd was spending upwards of $50 million a year just maintaining his lifestyle. And when you are spending $50 million a year and you are no longer fighting, no longer earning those 9-figure paydays, the math stops working very quickly. You can have $1.2 billion come in, but if $1.3 billion goes out, you end up with a problem. A very, very serious problem. And that is exactly what started showing up on paper.
I think it got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money?
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money is gone, trust me. Now it's like, you call him, he'll be at your local hosting in a nightclub because you need that.
Now here is where things start making a lot more sense when you look at them from the right angle. In early 2026, Floyd Mayweather announced he was coming back to boxing. Not one fight, not a quick exhibition to pick up a fun check, but 3 fights. A spring exhibition against Mike Tyson, a June exhibition against Greek kickboxing legend Mike Zambides in Athens, and then the massive one, a professional rematch against Manny Pacquiao in September at the Sphere in Las Vegas on Netflix. Why is the man with a 50-0 record suddenly desperate to get back in the ring? Well, around the same time Floyd was making these announcements, a few other stories were quietly coming out. And when you put them all together, the picture becomes very, very clear.
You hear things that, tax, he owed this person. I saw Logan Paul was talking about that he owes him, and some Greek company is sued, some Dubai company is suing him for $10 million. I don't know if there's any truth to that, chat. I really, really don't. 'Cause I don't know Floyd's finances, and I don't know anybody that knows Floyd's finances. But I just hate.
Let's start with the loan, because this is where the financial alarm bells first started ringing loudly. According to a major Business Insider investigation published in late 2025, Floyd Mayweather took out a $54 million loan from billionaire financier Don Hankey at a 9% interest rate. Now just think about that for a second. 9% interest on $54 million. That is nearly $5 million a year in interest payments alone, just to stay current on the loan. Financial experts who were quoted in that report said this kind of arrangement is extremely risky for exactly that reason. One domino falls and the whole thing comes crashing down. For context, most wealthy people who take out loans of this size do it for investment purposes to generate more money.
How do you respond to that? I don't think you have publicly responded.
Well, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, if we call having 2 private jets, owning 100 buildings, being able to do what you want to do, if that's bankrupt, then I'm pretty sure everybody want to live like that.
Now,
And then the real estate situation started coming out. 2 of Floyd's commercial real estate properties had already slipped into foreclosure within an 18-month window. His Las Vegas strip club building, his Girl Collection Club, was at risk of being seized over just $52,000 in unpaid property taxes. Just $52,000. This is a man who made $250 million in one night, and the building that houses one of his most famous businesses almost got taken away because of a $52,000 tax bill. 2 of his condos at Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas were briefly seized by Clark County for unpaid property taxes. When you cannot cover a $21,000 tax bill on a property you own in Las Vegas, when you are one of the most famous athletes in human history, something has gone fundamentally wrong. Oh, and there was also a $568 lien placed on his Las Vegas mansion for unpaid trash collection. Floyd Money Mayweather had a lien on his house because he did not pay the garbage bill. I am not making that up. That actually happened.
For unpaid taxes for 2018 and 2023. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, that says something to me. This may not mean he's broke, because I'm sure he had money in 2018 and still ain't paying his taxes. This may just be a nigga that don't pay his taxes all the time. Something may happen. But when you compile it with other things, it makes you ask questions, you feel me? So the Business Insider has been studying this shit. They said the agency filed a lien against the boxer who is embarking on a lucrative comeback. The boxer was recently sued for other allegedly unpaid bills. And that's interesting when you think about that point, you know? They said the lien was filed last month in Las Vegas, where Mayweather has property.
Now Floyd's team has pushed back on all of this. Floyd himself has been very vocal about denying that he is in financial trouble. He even appeared at a real estate forum in New York in May 2025 and said, and I am quoting here, "Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, but if that is what you call having 2 private jets, owning 100 buildings, and being able to do what you want, then I am pretty sure everybody is going bankrupt." Classic Floyd. Deflect with bravado. Turn the criticism into a flex. His legal team has also said he is not experiencing financial strain. You can own 100 buildings and still not be able to pay your trash bill if all your cash is tied up in debt and collateral. Floyd's situation has never been that he has no assets. His situation is that those assets are leveraged to the ceiling and the cash flow has dried up, which brings us to early 2026 and the IRS.
Suit in California against Showtime Networks and Steven Espinoza, claiming they helped his former advisor, Al Heyman, misappropriate a huge chunk of his fight earnings to the tune of $340 million. Mayweather says the money is still missing and unaccounted for, and he's now suing Showtime and Espinoza for aiding and abetting breach of fiduciary duty, civil conspiracy to commit fraud. Ooh, that's a serious accusation there. Conversion, unjust enrichment, and he's seeking
a $7.3 million federal tax lien against Floyd Mayweather in Las Vegas for unpaid taxes from 2018 and 2023. A tax lien is the government's legal way of saying we have a claim on your property until you pay what you owe us. And public records confirmed the balance was still unpaid as of late March 2026. Now, this is not the first time Floyd and the IRS have had issues. In 2009, he owed $6.4 million. Between 2015 and 2017, he racked up $22.2 million in unpaid taxes from his Pacquiao fight earnings. That event and the Conor McGregor fight. Floyd used a mega fight payday to settle an IRS debt. And now in 2026, with another $7.3 million lien sitting on his name, he has conveniently lined up 3 more fights. Funny how that works, isn't it? This is a pattern. This has been a pattern for years. Floyd fights to pay off Floyd's debts. The cycle just keeps repeating. And each time the debts get a little bigger, the holes get a little deeper, and Floyd has to put on a little bit more of a show to dig himself back out.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. claimed Saturday that the potential rematch with Manny Pacquiao would only be an exhibition. Jasper Tour, CEO's manager, CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotion, and the event producer fired back, strongly opposing, saying Floyd is in breach of the contract. Floyd signed not 1, not 2, but 3 different agreements on 3 different dates, 2 different parties that ultimately got intertwined in a month of January, and this is all related to his return to professional boxing. First one, October 24th, the second one, November the 6th, the third one, December 14th. He received money for all 3 agreements when he signed them. Not only that, but he has taken out an advance on his purse.
But here is where the story takes an absolutely wild turn. Because in February 2026, Floyd Mayweather dropped a bombshell that nobody saw coming. He filed a $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former Showtime sports president Steven Espinoza. And the allegations in this lawsuit are genuinely staggering. Floyd is claiming that Showtime and Espinoza, working alongside his former manager Al Heyman, diverted a massive chunk of his fight earnings into secret accounts that Floyd himself did not even know existed. Not small amounts, but hundreds of millions of dollars. The lawsuit describes a complex web of hidden accounts, unauthorized transactions, and deliberate concealment of financial records. It claims that instead of Floyd receiving his money directly, the funds were funneled into accounts controlled by Heyman, who would then deduct millions labeled as reimbursements before passing along whatever was left to Floyd. They were told the documents were lost in a flood or stored somewhere off-site and not accessible. Lost in a flood for one of the highest-grossing boxing promotions in television history. The records were conveniently lost in a flood. Look, I am not saying the allegations are proven. This is a lawsuit. These are Floyd's claims. But even the fact that this lawsuit exists, even the fact that Floyd is saying he cannot account for hundreds of millions of dollars that should have been his, tells you something about the state of his finances right now. Whether he was robbed, or whether he spent it all, or whether it was some combination of both, the result is the same. The money is gone and Floyd needs it back. Mayweather is only pursuing this comeback because he needs the money. When Pacquiao was desperately begging for a rematch, Floyd had zero interest. He was comfortable. He was 50-0. He had no reason to risk anything. But now Floyd is the one calling for the fight. The tables have completely flipped. Max Kellerman echoed the same sentiment, saying this comeback is Floyd's way of addressing his financial situation while trying to hold on to his legendary status at the same time. And insiders close to Floyd's circle have been even more blunt, saying the truth about his financial reality is undeniable to anyone who actually looks at the numbers. So let's call this what it is. The Mike Tyson exhibition is a name recognition play. A global spectacle designed to generate headlines and easy money with minimal risk. That is the loan collateral protection. That is the answer to all the bills and liens and lawsuits piling up. Floyd Mayweather spent 2 decades telling the world his nickname was money. And in 2026, for the first time in his career, that nickname is not about what he has, but about what he desperately needs. The man who earned $1.2 billion in his career is getting back in the ring. Not because he wants to, not because he misses the sport, but because the bills are due. The IRS is at the door, and the only thing Floyd Mayweather has ever been able to do to make the world give him what he needs is put on a show. So the show is back on, whether Floyd wants to admit it or not. Alright everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.